Live. We got about 30 seconds before we get into our ghosted this morning. True Crime Tuesday is back.
Yes, it is.
Today, there's going to be a theme to True Crime Tuesday. It's basically how have you dodged a bullet? And what I mean by that is like maybe you were dating someone, you were in a relationship, and everything was fine in your relationship. But then later in life, after you guys had broken up, gone your separate ways, you find out something crazy whenever it comes to that. So we'll get into that coming up in a little bit. Right now, let's get into our ghosted. Welcome to the show, guys. All right, fam, it's time for our ghosted this morning. We already talked to Billy. He said that, he and this girl have been seeing each other for about 3 months.
Yeah, 3 months in and New Year's, new goals. And they talked about that. And the next thing you know, she's out.
Right. Because, they were planning for the future. To me, if you're doing New Year's resolutions together, that means that you're planning for the future and you're going somewhere in the relationship.
Right.
This went straight to ghosted in our show. Good morning. Dana, thank you for agreeing to come on. We are on Facebook Live on the Hot Facebook page. We're on Dex and Barbie T on Twitch and YouTube, so you can see the show streaming there. Good morning. So you said there's a very specific reason and that he hasn't told us everything. What's going on?
Did he tell you that he quit his job?
You know what? I was just about to ask, did he have a job before he quit his job?
Yeah, he quit. That's a great goal, improve your life and get a better job. But he quit his current job with no job lined up or anything and doesn't have any kind of plan.
So you said that you were looking for a job and you were like really hardcore hustling. Well, it's probably because you quit your other job.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. She said I don't have a plan. I do have a plan, but the first thing was I needed to quit the job I had. I worked there for so long, I was stuck. I couldn't even imagine having another job, so I had to leave that one first. And if it's about the money, I'm going to move back in with my parents. That way I'm able to save money while I get this new job.
How are you saving money if you're not making any money? You don't have any money to save. He doesn't think right. He doesn't plan. This is not responsible. This is exactly why I ghosted you. I cannot be stuck with somebody that makes bad decisions in life. I do not want any part of this whatsoever.
But, he is looking for another job. I will say you probably should have gotten a job before you quit your job.
Yeah, but if he's making progress and actually doing something and putting forth the work and getting somewhere with this, then what's the issue?
What kind of step forward is it to move back in with your parents? Like, that seems like not the opposite of a goal.
That's not the plan. It's to get a better job, save money while I'm with them, and then get a better place. It's not like I'm planning on just living in their basement. It's all specifically part of the plan.
There is no plan. This is like no good.
He's telling you the plan.
Yeah, the plan is to move in with your parents because you can't wait out a crappy job.
Listen, she does have a point. There's lots of people out there that aren't happy with their career. Maybe they've taken pay cuts or something like that, but they wait and they try to find normal jobs before they quit.
Yeah, and I agree. You want to kind of wait that out. But if he felt like he couldn't wait and he just wanted to jump the gun and go and just start hunting for this new career, to move back in with the parents isn't that bad. As long as he doesn't stay there, he's going to get another job, save money, and then go from there.
It adds to the motivation to get a new job anyway.
I don't see it. And you know what? The bottom line is I cannot be with someone who makes stupid decisions. It's not me. It's not how I roll. It's not my values. I'm not feeling it.
Right. Thoughts?
I think she just, I don't know. Like, if you see someone that's actively like trying and they're putting in the work and they're, motivated and they're actually doing what they say they're going to do.
He quit a job without having a job.
And I know that's not the best
So what is he
thing,
gonna
but
do?
at the
He's
same
moving
time,
in with his
protect your
parents.
peace. Protect your peace. If that's going to help him, mentally and financially, do it. Do what you got to do.
And who's to say that the job was the problem? Maybe it's him that's the problem. If he's making bad decisions, maybe he was making bad decisions
And
at work.
okay, maybe this is a better decision for him to quit, find another job, and move in with his parents, save some money, and go about it that way. But she's just bouncing on him and not trying to like actually support and help and be part of the grind.
What are your thoughts? 866-639-4689. This guy says that he's going to find another job in the new year, and he probably will. There's lots of jobs out there. You know what I mean? But he quit his job without having something lined up. And now she says, well, I don't want to be with someone that makes dumb decisions like that.
She act like he a bum or something. Like, trust me, there's a lot of bums out there, sweetie.
866-639.
Sounds good.
4689. Call now. Don't forget True Crime Tuesday going to be coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. All right, let's get into the comments. Let's get to the calls. I see Dr. Marie already online.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hang on just a second. You're going to be our first person. Hey, good morning. We've got one call ahead of you. Stand by. Good morning. We've got two calls ahead of you. Stand by, Dr. Marie.
I mean, yes, we all know that is the ideal situation. You don't quit a job until you find another job. That's facts. Like, that is facts.
Good morning. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Kristen, and I'm calling from Knoxville.
Go ahead. What are your thoughts whenever it comes to this?
It's much easier to get a job when you already have a job.
Mm-hmm.
This is some major life decisions that it's impacting. So if it's not someone that you can trust to make good life decisions that are that important, like finances, I think she made the right move in getting out.
But I think also he's single. They're not like, they're 3 months in. That's not his wife. That's not like, he's not providing for her. He's looking out for himself. And he's like, you know what? If I got to step back and then go back home and regroup and then go about it that way.
Yeah,
then
but
that's
she's
what you
not
gotta
saying
do.
that he's providing for her, but
But
she's
that's what
seeing
she's
his decisions.
But I know, but I'm saying at this moment, that's, you're not even there in that moment yet together. So it's like, okay, he's doing what's best for him.
Make
right
bad
now.
decisions.
Exactly.
She's seeing a
And
pattern.
she's getting out because he doesn't provide for her, and she's not his wife, so she still has the opportunity to make that better decision. Because what he's doing now, because this is kind of the impress you phase, if he's doing this kind of stuff now, it's not going to get better later.
Thank you for your call.
Thank you.
Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Carter, Georgia.
Go ahead. What are your thoughts whenever it comes there? Love the outlets there. Go ahead.
Yes.
Oh, your phone cut out. Are you there? I don't love the phone reception there. Hello? Can you hear us? Are you there? No. Call back. Dr. Marie, hang on just a second. We got one call ahead of you. All right. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Kay. I'm calling from Knoxville.
Good morning, Kay. What are your thoughts whenever it comes to this?
So I just think that he definitely dodged a bullet. You know, he sounds like he has everything on track, and just that one little thing of I quit my job before getting a new job, like that is so not a reason to leave someone. She's totally unsupportive, and she sounds like the bad guy in this situation, and he just needs to move on and find someone else who's actually supportive and better for him.
Yeah, I just don't feel like it's ghost worthy. Like if she was to say like, hey, if we were married, I wouldn't want you to do something like this. But he's single and it's all on him.
Yeah, there's just a communication problem, and, you know, she doesn't like to be communicative, and that's really important, and he definitely dodged a bullet.
Thank you very much, Kay.
Thank you.
Dr. Marie, good morning. Go ahead.
Dex, he did have a plan, but that don't mean his plan was worth anything. How you gonna go from making a little bit of coins to making no coins? Make it make sense. And Barbie T, you taking up for him moving in with his parents. You ain't talking to nobody that stay with their parents, even if it is to save money.
Of course not. But I mean, I've been there before. So that's why I'm not judging him on that. You know what I mean? I've done it. I've had to do it. Hell, I don't get paid like that.
You ain't gonna
You
date
don't
him.
have to judge him, but
No,
that don't make
I mean,
it right.
but if we were already dating and he talked to me about what he was going to be doing, and if I see him doing it and being progressive and actually owning up to what he is doing and killing it and making sure he's going out and looking for that job, okay, cool, I'm gonna root you on.
That's it.
But
He
you got a
not
time
killing
limit.
it. He
Yes.
went from making he went from making a little bit of coins to making no coins. That's ass backwards. I'm so sorry.
Yep.
You do not quit your job before you secure another one.
Because
that's
you know what you got to do?
understandable.
You got to secure the bag.
And that's understandable. I understand that
part.
1000 like all the way down to the line. But like at the same time, we don't know what this man was going through at that job.
Thank you very much, Dr. Marie, as
He
always.
stayed that long. Dex, I got one more thing to say, not about the subject.
Yes.
I
Oh.
got Dex Friday.
What do you mean?
Somebody stole $2,200 out of my bank account.
What?
Shut up.
No, luckily I don't keep all my money in my checking account. I keep the majority of it in my savings account. But they wiped out my checking account.
You know what, Dr. Marie? How crazy is this? Because my dad had the same thing happen. Like, so that's That's almost, I can't remember how much they got out of his account, but it was one of his smaller accounts, and it was like about $1,000, $2,000 that they got out of there.
Oh gosh.
Yep. Dang. Did you get it back?
Yeah, they got. No, not yet, because whoever did it was in San Diego, and the bank told me what they can recoup, I will get back. What they can't recoup, I won't.
All right. Thank you very much.
Hope you
They
get
got.
it.
Dang.
I do too. I take half of it. I just need some of my money back.
Well, that's crazy that
Like,
you can't
my
get your
check is
money
mine.
back, though. Like, because my bank reimbursed me for every penny.
But
That's
see, that's just
$5,000.
it. They debited $1,200 out, and the rest they paid they bills with. Now that money I know I can get back. But if they can't catch whoever debited out of the ATM, I won't get that back.
How did they get your PIN number?
I have no idea. I downloaded a new game to my tablet, and the very next day my account was empty. That's the only thing I could connect it to.
It
The
could have
bank
been something
asked me if I
further
still
down
have
the
my
road.
debit card.
Yeah.
I still got my debit card. Nobody has it. My card I do Apple Pay, so it is on my phone, but I got my phone. Nobody never had my phone but me. There is no other way it could have happened. And by the fact that my husband is a truck driver and he uses his debit card from state to state, when it was flagged in other states, they let it go.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I was wondering about that, too. Thank you, Dr. Marie. What bank do you bank with, real quick?
Wells Fargo.
Thank you. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. This is Laneka calling from Knoxville.
Good morning.
Good
Go ahead.
morning.
Well, I just wanted to chime in on the situation with the young guy and the girl about
Yes.
him quitting his job or having another one.
Yes.
I think sometimes, it's so easy to judge when you are not in that situation. But when he first said that, the first thing that came to my mind was his mental status. His mental health is so important.
Facts.
And sometimes you have to quit something and go outside of the norm. I know I've always been taught have a backup plan, before you quit a job and go, and before you quit a job. But sometimes just to protect your peace and your mental health, you have to, you have to just walk away sometimes. And I've had several friends that have done that, moved back in with parents, things like that. Sometimes you can't put yourself in someone else's situation unless it's happening to you.
That part.
So
Yeah, that's a good point.
have to stop, just walk away and start over, all the way over. There's nothing wrong with that. It just depends on the situation. But, I don't think that's a bad thing for not having a backup plan. Sometimes you have to step away to protect your peace and your mental health.
Thank you very much.
Exactly.
Very good call.
Thank
you so
you.
much. Have a good day. All right.
Protect your peace at all costs.
I feel like there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about with Dr. Marie and that whole thing. I hate that she ended up getting for the bank account, especially that they debited it out of her ATM. Like, that means that they got a PIN number.
And Nyla said, pretty sure it was a Wells Fargo employee. They have been a huge red flag lately.
Dang. Because people will get in there and then they'll start stealing those kinds of accounts. And hell, we just had a call, I think 2 days ago or something like that, where the woman worked at a bank and sure enough, like one of her coworkers was siphoning money out of people's accounts. That's nuts.
Yep. Why did he get ghosted? Because he quit his job without having a job and moved back in with his parents.
New Year's resolution that they talked about was him finding a new job. And so he decided the next day that he was going to just quit, I guess. And she was like, I'm out. Thoughts, should we move on or should we stay down the path of ghosted? If we're moving on, we're doing True Crime Tuesday. And Renee is going to be our first call this morning whenever it comes to that. Jared, you already have that one ready, right? What is it called? True Crime Call? Jared? True Crime Call?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, move on. All right, True Crime Tuesday.
Yesterday was the anniversary of 12 years ago. A girl I went to high school with killed herself and her girlfriend. Oh, gosh.
Holy crap. Let's get this call real quick before we go.
Wells
one more song.
Fargo is absolutely the worst bank. Oh, wow. Y'all really don't like Wells Fargo, do you?
I've heard. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Kimberly from Anderson, South Carolina.
What up, Kimberly? Real quick, go ahead.
I think that as far as those two that ghosted, I think that he dodged the bullet because anybody that's not willing to be with you in a struggle shouldn't be with you in your success.
Hello.
And, Yeah, and anybody that she sounds like that, all her decisions are the best, and if you don't do it her way, anybody else's way is wrong. So I think he should just go ahead and just do what he's doing and leave her out of it.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cliff, what's up, man? Good to see you on the live. He said, be careful with those nails. You could poke someone's eye out, Barbie. Let's see those nails today. Okay. It's got a Cruella de Vil kind of look to it.
I need to get them done.
Yeah. 3 minutes.
Thank you, Jacqueline.
Who says
Thank you, Will.
Who says what's your favorite bank whenever it comes down to it? I bank with Bank of America.
My shoebox.
Your shoebox.
Just kidding.
Everybody go over to Barbie's house. You can steal all of her money. 2 minutes, by the way, before we get into True Crime Tuesday. That's right. Barbie does have a birthday in a month.
Yes. Who brought that up?
Constance. Look at that suspect like kind of tone there.
Right after Thanksgiving 2016, they had a big get-together, the family did, and they...
I don't even remember this one.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't either. Is Renee on? Renee, you on? Where you at?
That is a good
She's
question.
not on yet.
Cliff, were you out with the Demon Hunter and the Yogi and the crew? Is that what I saw? That is so cool, man. I still can't believe I ran into Yogi over there at Nissan. BB&T for life. Credit
Party
unions.
at Barbie's next month.
That's right. Wells Fargo and Bank of America.
I don't know what I want to do for my
trouble
birthday.
for some
yet.
business.
Credit unions all day. Happy Fifth Third is here now.
What's that? Happy Fifth Third?
No, she's saying she's happy that Fifth Third is here now.
Oh. What's Fifth Third?
A credit union.
I've never heard of it. Okay.
They're like right down the street.
Are
It's
they?
like the blue and green logo, the Fifth Third.
I've seen Truist is all over the place.
Yeah, Truist. I've seen Truist.
Yeah.
What was that one bank that used to always get robbed in Spartanburg? Oh gosh, I can't remember. It's an old school bank. Those banks aren't even around anymore. I remember going with my grandma and getting the suckers there. I can't remember.
The little dum-dums?
Well, they had the big circle ones.
Oh, they're fancy. What's the name of the band, Cliff? Truist is just BB&T and SunTrust after they merged. So that's what it is. Okay. Nice comment. Thank you for that.
I used to work for BB&T.
All right, here we go. Yeah, Barbie used to do home loans, right?
Mm-hmm.
40 seconds. True Crime Tuesday. Let's get into it.
Mortgages for Alabama.
I can't even remember Renee's actual story. So, because it's been like a month.
Yeah, it
since
was
we got
was
that.
before Christmas.
The what? Yeah.
Yeah, Renee's on. Good morning, Renee.
So this
How
is gonna
is
be
your
pretty new to me.
client doing? Y'all say prayers for Renee's client, her home health client. He fell.
Sure, it's good though.
Or something. Was that right?
Whoa, 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 whoa. All right, so we got to move on, and now it is time for True Crime Tuesday. It is back.
Yes, it's the first True Crime Tuesday of the year.
Right, we took a
2023.
we took a little bit of a break during the holidays because we were like, you know what, murder and Christmas, it's just, you know. So here we are, True Crime Tuesday. Our first call this morning. Basically, what we're looking for is 866-639-4689. Share a story of like some kind of real true life crime that you have either, witnessed, someone some kind of story whenever it comes to true crime. You know how it is, the ID channel and all that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff that we're looking for. All right. Give us a call and share your stories. We're going to start off with Renee and then we'll open up the phone lines. Good morning. Go ahead.
Right after Thanksgiving 2016, they had a big get-together, the family did, and they told everybody they were selling the home and that they were cutting off their son, who was 31 years old, and he'd have to start on his own. There was him and two sisters and the parents. Fast forward a few days later, the boss of the mom called in and said she was missing. She didn't show up for her last day of work before she retired. So they went out to the house and got to looking for her. When they got there, they noticed that there's a for sale sign in the front yard, but the realtor lock is missing. So they try to get in the house, and they can't get through the front door, but they can see through the windows and see that there's groceries strewn everywhere. So they go around back and try to get in through the back door. There's blood everywhere. There's a table with their wallets and IDs laid out on it and a hammer laying beside it.
Oh, goodness.
So they figure out how to get into the garage and get into the house that way. And they get in there and they get the door open, and they said it's the most atrocious smell they've ever smelled. Downstairs is just a mess. So they make their way upstairs, and they notice there's blood smears on the stairwell going up, and then the hallway all the way through. They get into the bathroom to find 2 huge plastic barrels with some kind of liquid in it, and all 3 have body parts in them.
Yep.
He had
my
dismembered his parents and put him in homemade acid. They later found him in New Orleans and arrested him down there in an apartment he had just recently rented after being told he was going to be cut off, but with their money. He got convicted of abuse of a corpse ×2, felony murder ×2, and first-degree murder ×2, and he got life imprisonment for it.
How long was he on the run for before the cops caught up to him?
Just a week or so.
Oh,
The whole thing took place within a 2-week span.
Whew.
right.
Whew.
That is intense.
And Renee walked into that? Oh, wait, no. That's a whole different situation. Never mind.
866-639-4689. Let's go ahead and kick off True Crime Tuesday. If you have a story, join the show, share your story. One of the things that we are going to be looking for is, how did you dodge a bullet whenever it comes to a relationship? Like literally, like you dated this person, everything was fine. Maybe there were some red flags,
Mhm.
but then they got into another relationship after you guys had broken up, and then you hear like some kind of crazy thing that they ended up doing. Maybe not in their relationship, but maybe just they got arrested for like some kind of crazy heinous crime. Give us a call. Share your stories now.
Can't hear you, Dex.
Oops, sorry. All right, here we go. Good morning. Hang on just a second. We got one call ahead of you. All right, good morning. Welcome to the show. First off, what's your name? Where are you calling from? Or do you want to be anonymous?
My name is Ashley. I'm calling from Greenville.
Go ahead. Tell us your story.
So I've kind of talked about this a little bit, but I never got to say her name. And really the reason why I wanted to really get to talk about it is because this month is the 12-year mark since she was taken from us. But my best friend, her name is Kaylee Clapp from McCook, Nebraska. She was murdered at 14 from a guy that they talked about dating, but her parents were like, no, he's too old because he was 18. He got into another relationship with someone, but he was still obsessive over her. And he texted her one night and said that he had a belated Christmas gift for her. And she said, I'll meet you outside, but this is the last time I ever want to hear from you. And he grabbed her and he took her and did a bunch of stuff that I'm not going to say because it's really graphic and horrific.
Yeah.
He had the makings of a serial killer because they found when they arrested him on his phone that he had texted other girls of a similar stature and look, similar things, trying to get them to come out in the middle of the night to probably do the same thing of what he did to her. But she was like the most beautiful soul you could ever meet. She made sure nobody went without a friend and no one sat alone at lunch. She was like that from the time that I met her in 3rd grade all the way up until she left us in her freshman year of high school.
How was
My
it?
goodness.
They arrested him. How long did he end up getting sentence-wise?
So he's got life in prison. They weren't going to do any sort of a plea bargain or anything, but my best friend's mom didn't want us kids that were going to have to testify at 14 and 15 to have to go through that. So he had a bunch of charges dropped down, but she had family members that were already in similar places that got transferred, and they, kind of did some stuff to him because they knew the truth. And everybody in the prison that he's in knows the truth about what happened, regardless of what his charges were.
Right.
So even though he got charges dropped, he's
Right.
not being treated as if he got the charges dropped, essentially.
Right. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
sharing your
Thank you.
story.
And I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah, I hate that loss. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dang, that's tough.
Whew.
Melissa, Simpsonville, good morning. Go ahead real quick. Tell us your story.
Good morning, Dex and Barbie T. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
Go ahead.
Happy New Year. Okay, so on March 31st, 1995, My aunt actually made the 911 call from the Days Inn in Corpus Christi, Texas, when Selena Quintanilla passed away.
Salinas.
Yeah.
Like the singer, the Selena, like that like really. So
Yes.
like what happened? Like when it comes down to it, like she had to make the call. Did she discover the body?
No, so Selena actually ended up meeting Yolanda Salvador in the room 185, I believe it was. And she was headed out the door, and that's when the gun was shot and fired. It actually entered into her back, and it actually exited through her chest cavity. But it severed like a huge major artery, and then there was like a trail of blood. She actually ran from the hotel room, and she made it all the way to the lobby, and they knew right away who she was. They recognized her, and they knew that something was like deathly wrong, and she collapsed on the floor, and she actually managed to well, her last words actually she managed to say it was, Yolanda Salvador, room 185, and that was pretty much it. That's all that she could get out.
Oh my gosh.
And they tried to talk to her, some of the other workers and stuff. They tried to talk to her to keep her away. She already lost
too much
all
blood.
of her blood.
Yeah.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
that is so heartbreaking. I love Selena's.
It is.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your call.
Thank you.
Dang. Okay, I gotta edit.
Oh.
Holy crap. That's a lot.
Oh. If I could fall in love with you. Oh gosh. I want to watch that movie now.
Selena.
Yes. Salinas.
Dang, I only got a minute. I don't know. That's a lot.
Oh, you got this. You got this.
Thanks. Oh, there's a call. Constance, call back.
And it's Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, and Selena music and the movie. That's the day.
Oops.
That was wild.
Wasn't it?
That, like, ooh. I'm glad I wasn't allowed to date as a child.
When was your first date?
Well, I mean, oh gosh, I don't remember.
All right, so it is True Crime Tuesday. We want to hear your stories, 866-639-4689. Hopefully you've never had to deal with something like this, but you might have like either known someone, maybe you witnessed this, whatever it might be. Give us a call and share your stories. Good morning. So this story, tragic. And it's kind of wild because, when you deal with some kind of tragedy, you do remember it kind of changes the way you see a certain day or something like that. Like it becomes an anniversary of something tragic that has happened. Take a listen to this story. Good morning. Go ahead.
This month is the 12-year mark since she was taken from us. But my best friend, her name is Kaylee Clapp from McCook, Nebraska. She was murdered at 14 from a guy that they talked about dating, but her parents were like, no, he's too old because he was 18. He got into another relationship with someone, but he was still obsessive over her. He texted her one night and said that he had a belated Christmas gift for her. And she said, I'll meet you outside, but this is the last time I ever want to hear from you. And he grabbed her and he took her and did a bunch of stuff that I'm not going to say because it's really graphic and horrific.
Yeah.
He had the makings of a serial killer because they found when they arrested him on his phone that he had texted other girls of a similar stature and look, similar things, trying to get them to come out in the middle of the night to probably do the same thing of what he did to her. But she was like the most beautiful soul you could ever meet. She made sure nobody went without a friend and no one sat alone at lunch. She was like that from the time that I met her in third grade all the way up until she left us in her freshman year of high school.
Scary.
That is.
And how wild could it be like that you were one of those people that he was texting? Because
Right?
when they started looking through the phone and they started seeing all of these other messages, similar girls, of course, the first thing that's going to pop into your mind is like, could you imagine if they would have went out
Right. That could have been them.
to meet him? Yeah.
Mhm.
And she was even saying like, this is going to be the last time I'm going to get you your stuff or whatever it was. And then she walked out and she was never seen again.
Ugh.
And that's wild. 866-639-4689. Again, it's True Crime Tuesday. If you have a story, hopefully you've never had to go through anything like this. But if you have, share the story of what ended up happening. The theme is, have you ever dodged a bullet?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so have you ever been in a situation where you were dating someone and then later down the road you found out that they did some crazy stuff, but you're no longer with them?
Yeah, like all of those girls that didn't answer his text messages.
Right.
Definitely dodged a bullet there.
Exactly. Scary stuff. All right. So we're going to get into those stories again. 866-639-4689. Also, we have someone who's hanging on the line that has a story about a true crime in which a celebrity was involved. You've heard this story. There's been movies that have been made about it.
I'm shooketh.
This girl made the 911 call. We'll go ahead and talk to them next. All right, let me get this
Oh
going.
my. What's up, Amanda? Hi,
morning.
Joyce. Joyce is on here. Good morning, Joyce. How are you all? That's why I don't do online dating. Girl, it is something. I always think about that though, like especially so like one thing, I think it's Bumble or somebody.
The
They'll
Bumble killer?
or either I can't remember him. It's one of these. It may be all of them, but they alert you when somebody that you've matched with has been like deleted off of the app because they were reported for something.
Hi, good morning. Hang on just a second. Aw. Hi, good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Knoxville, Tennessee.
Good morning. Go ahead. Tell us your story. What happened real quick?
When I was in high school, I was with a dude, and we were so in love. I got married. Got an apartment together and everything was fine. I had ended up moving to Georgia for a couple of months to go to school, and I moved back to Knoxville, and I was at work one night, and I started getting a whole bunch of news articles on my phone. I was like, what's going on? And they were news articles that he stabbed his mom. He had stabbed her like 7 or 8 times. Luckily, she didn't die.
What?
But, yeah.
She
Luckily,
not?
she didn't die.
Okay.
But he had stabbed her up, and I was like, oh, my gosh, because this is a person that I was still involved with.
Right. Like you were interested
And
in
even
rekindling things.
Yeah. Like, I was coming back to Knoxville so we could get our lives back together. And I was like, what? So come to find out he had been doing a whole bunch of drugs and stuff.
That'll do it.
Did you notice any kind of anger issues or like any of the drug issues?
No.
Like no. So you didn't even see
No.
this coming.
No, I didn't see anything coming at all. Like, he was still the perfect gentleman to me. Like, he was totally fine. I guess he could act sane when he was around me, but
Damn. Okay.
when he was around her, it was a problem. And it's still, I guess, an ongoing problem. This has been a couple years ago, but
He got
still
sentenced
in and
though,
out of
right?
jail today. He did get sentenced, but he got out. They sent him to a mental institution. And he was there. They was like, there's nothing wrong with you.
Wow.
I'm like, there is something wrong with him. But
Yeah.
That
they
happened
were
to a
like, no,
classmate
there's
of
nothing-
mine.
Yeah. Listen, thank you for your call. Thanks for listening. What happened to your classmate?
Jessica on here. Jessica. Anyway, so somebody that I grew up with, and he was low key, always a little stalkerish. We rode the same bus together and we lived in the same neighborhood. And I guess I always figured he was a little off. So I tried to always like be nice to him and stuff. But he ended up like popping off and stabbing like his parents, like I think his mom and dad. And he's a big guy. Like this is he's always been the taller kid. Like he's a big guy. And they got away some kind of how, like, and like ran to the gas station across the street. But yeah, he was put in a mental place, I think, for a little while. But
Well, a lot of times they'll say that like they, kind of plead insanity.
I think he was off.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact he's off. I don't know what it is.
I can't believe that woman didn't die 7
Right,
times.
right.
That's nuts.
But yeah, I remember that story. I was like, see, I told y'all that boy was crazy. He
Well,
was
be careful in new relationships, folks.
child. Oof. Thank you, Jesus. I dodged some bullets.
Not to this level.
Not to this level. Nah, I don't think anybody. Well, one did burn himself with a cigarette, but you know. Dang, she's the 50 Cent of stabbing victims. Jeez. Oh my gosh, Jacqueline. Watch The Quiet Ones. Yes, and this dude was quiet. He was quiet. No, like it's a difference. It's a difference. Those that don't talk, don't say nothing. I knew from back in like elementary growing up, he was just always the same. He didn't say much.
Oh, I wish he would call back. I want to know how long ago this happened.
What?
Oh, her story.
Oh. My grandfather was stabbed 27 times in prison and lived. What? He was shanked?
Oh, yeah, those shanks are really shallow, though. Why do I know that? I don't know.
What are you looking up? How to make prison shanks? Watch The Quiet Ones. There was a guy I grew up with, rode the bus at high school with, and dated in middle school, but my dad didn't like him, tried to rekindle when he was in the Army, later killed a homeless man in Knox. He's in prison now. Oh, my goodness.
Recap. All right, what are we talking about this morning?
We're taking in your True Crime Tuesday stories, but it's a theme to it this time, and it's how did you dodge a bullet? Did you like date someone and then later on down the line find out that they were crazy as hell?
Right. And that's a loose, like thing. So like you can still call with your true crime stories, but if you have another story, then we'll take that one too. Big or small, we'll take them all. All right, so good morning. This is scary because this girl was in love with this man. Tell us what ended up happening. This is out of Knoxville, Tennessee.
When I was in high school, I was with a dude, and we were so in love. I got an apartment together and everything was fine. I had ended up moving to Georgia for a couple of months to go to school. I moved back to Knoxville. I was at work one night, and I started getting a whole bunch of news articles on my phone. I was like, what's going on? They were news articles that he stabbed his mom. He had stabbed her like 7 or 8 times. Luckily, she didn't die.
What?
But yeah. Luckily,
know?
she didn't die. Okay. But he had stabbed her up, and I was like, oh my gosh, because this is a person that I was still involved with.
Right. Like you were interested in rekindling things.
Yeah. Like I was coming back to Knoxville so we could get our lives back together. And I was like, what? So come to find out he had been doing a whole bunch of drugs and stuff.
That'll do it.
Did you notice any kind of anger issues or like any of the drug issues?
No.
No. So you didn't even see this coming?
No, I didn't see anything coming at all. Like he was still the perfect gentleman.
He got sentenced though, right?
He did get sentenced, but he got out. They took him to a mental institution. And he was there. They was like, there's nothing wrong with you.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow. Can you imagine? And I'm going to tell you right now, drugs isn't doing that. He didn't stab his mom because he was on drugs. He stabbed his mom because he's
crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess he went to the mental institute, but
drugs.
they said that there was nothing wrong with the guy. This is one that really kind of blew us away as well because this girl knows the person that called 911
right
when this celebrity was at their hotel and died. Good morning. Go ahead. What happened?
March 31st, 1995, my aunt actually made the 911 call from the Days Inn in Corpus Christi, Texas, when Selena Quintanilla passed away.
Salinas?
Yeah.
Like the singer, the Selena, like that like really. So
Yes.
like what happened? Like when it comes down to it, like she had to make the call. Did she discover the body?
No, so Selena actually ended up meeting Yolanda Salvador in the room 185. I believe it was. She was headed out the door, and that's when the gun was shot and fired. It actually entered into her back. It actually exited through her chest cavity, but it severed like a huge major artery, and then there was like a trail of blood. She actually ran from the hotel room, and she made it all the way to the lobby. They knew right away who she was. They recognized her, and they knew that something was like deathly wrong, and she collapsed on the floor. She actually managed to well, her last words actually meant she managed to say it was, Yolanda Salvador room 185.
Oh gosh. I would freak out.
Right? 866-639-4689. You're welcome to join the show this morning. True Crime Tuesday continues.
Jay, oh my goodness.
Let's get this call real quick. Hey, good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I can't tell any of that, but I could tell my story.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm definitely a survivor, and I just want to let women know when you meet people in work, in any kind of environment, just do a background check, because I met a guy at work. Everything was going great. Left my place, moved into his place until he started talking to himself.
Oh,
Like
no.
absolute conversations with himself.
What kind of
And I
things
would
was he
record
saying? Like he was just like, "Hey, how are you, Fred? Fred, you're good." Stuff like that.
No. He would have a discussion about whatever just occurred, and he would consult himself and give himself responses and speak for me as well.
Okay, we got to role play this. Okay, go.
No, like I'm sitting on the bed and I'm just recording, and he's like just talking to himself. He's like just going, like it's just weird, okay?
So what happens? What happened next?
He's just a guy that everybody who comes in contact with him can alter every little thing in his brain. So it's just some people are that jealous. If a guy looks at his woman, he instantly goes insane, and that's how this guy was.
Okay.
Even at work, I had to quit my job. I had to leave town. I had to do a lot of things to escape this guy.
And so at this point, you're away from him. Has he done anything like to that next level? Has he?
Yes, I've escaped with my life. I have a restraining order on him. I couldn't even keep my jobs because I was posting on social media, but he got a page to like stalk me, I guess. So he broke into my hotel room. I have a son, a 13-year-old son. And he broke in my hotel room, and he wouldn't let me escape the room. My son got out. But I was screaming in there for so long, and nobody called the police. Like, he broke down the bathroom door. Everything, like he was strangling me all through the room. It's like a slow-motion movie was happening in real life to me. And I just couldn't believe when the cops showed up that he wasn't, like, in handcuffs or anything. Like, he was gone. And it was just crazy that somebody could be on the streets and do that to somebody else.
Right. And so they didn't arrest him?
No, they can't find him.
Oh, no. Absolutely not.
So he's still out there in the world. How long ago did this happen?
Yeah, and then I did, this was about 2 months ago. I did my own background check on him. The pages were so many pages. It just doesn't make any sense that somebody can have a job I had a very good job. I mean, amazing. Like, how could he get in there, with this kind of background? But you just have to be careful.
Wow. And so at this point, like, again, this just happened 2 months ago. You, like, to the point where he was strangling you and breaking down the hotel door and the bathroom and all of that kind of stuff. And so they're still looking for him on the streets. And you're like, I mean, like, you've had to go and stay with someone else.
No, I've had to leave my entire life behind and live in a hotel.
Oh, wow.
I've had to have my son go stay with his dad because this guy is so deeply gang related.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
How is he gang related and getting
Girl.
these jobs and all of this stuff? And he just
I don't understand.
and he was totally normal when you were talking to him.
Absolutely obsessive.
Okay.
Like I don't super obsessive.
Do you have
I've never dealt with it.
Do you have a CWP?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Okay. Well, yeah. Keep
Carry
that.
all day long, all day,
Yeah.
every day.
Protect yourself. Thank you so much for sharing. I know that that's a scary, situation that you're in, and we're going to be praying for you. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. Damn.
That scares me.
Right, doesn't
That
it?
makes me want to be like, you know what? I can be by myself. It's fine.
And the fact that it just happened a couple of months
Right.
ago.
Like, I want to ask her, yo, can you tell me his name so we can know who the hell to stay away from?
Yeah.
Can I get a picture?
Right.
Like,
Right.
because I need to know.
Wow.
That is scary.
These stories, man. Okay, let's get into some of the stories that were online because you were about to say Jay's, and I had to get that call. By the way, Renee, I see you online. We started with your story, so I don't know if you had a chance to hear that. Go ahead.
This is what the guy did that I worked with that was going out to kill prostitutes every night. He would have full-on conversations with himself as though there were multiple people in the room with different voices. I am
remember that.
terrified for her.
Yeah. Well, and the guy's gang related.
Yeah.
Like,
And watch he be like fine and crazy. That's how it usually is.
Yeah. Whew. Okay.
Ladies, I need y'all to know that 2 or 3 cans of vegetables in the pillowcase will handle the most controlling men. Keep it in mind.
Yeah.
Yo, or either if you got some pool balls and put them in a sock.
I saw that in a movie or something like that before. Dang. All right.
Kept them in my friend's car like that, real life.
Did you?
Yeah.
All right, fam. It's time for us to wrap up. Guys, thank you so much, as always, for your stories and for all the things. We will talk to you guys tomorrow morning.
See you tomorrow.
Be good.